Hello, this is Marcus here from EV Journey, and let's get going. It's 27 minutes past 5 and we're in the orange car. You can see it's orange because it's orange here. Now this car today is limited to 100 kilometers an hour and it's an ID.3 first edition, so that means it's got a 58 kilowatt hour battery and currently it's at 90%. So we've got onto the motorway and we're doing 100 kilometers an hour. Now why are we going so slow on the motorway? So in my previous video we did a test of driving 288 kilometers at 120 kilometers an hour and 110 kilometers an hour, and we saw which one won. Now if you haven't seen that test, please click below and watch that test. And if you don't want to know the results of that test, watch that test, then watch this test, because I'm going to tell you the results. The results are, with charging, is that it took 2 hours 59 minutes when we did it at 120 kilometers an hour, and it was only 4 minutes slower when we did it at 110 kilometers an hour. It was 3 hours and 3 minutes. After doing that test and writing down some things on paper, I honestly think it's possible to travel 288 kilometers in this car doing 100 kilometers an hour, the whole distance, without actually charging. And the idea is we can get back here with at least 15%. Now, if I don't think that's possible en route, we will charge. But I did some other simple maths. If we can keep to an average speed of 100 kilometers an hour or thereabouts, and it's 288 kilometers, that means it should take us 2 hours and 53 minutes. Now the temperature today is 29 degrees Celsius, very similar to when we did the other test. So there's another thing I'm worried about on this test, and what's the other thing I'm worried about is I don't think my bladder is going to hold out for 3 hours. So if my bladder doesn't hold out for 3 hours and we do have to stop due to my bladder, then we will take those minutes away from the total time, obviously. In the other cars we actually started at 80%, not 90%, but here I've added the extra 10% to make sure we can do it without charging. I'm still not sure. So today we're driving from Moita near Lisbon and we're going south on the motorway network. We're going to go to Aljustrel, turn around and come back to Moita near Lisbon again. Currently the winds are about 5 to 10 meters per second from the north going south, so exactly the same weather we had for all the other previous tests, and I'm hoping the consumption is going to be a bit lower than when we did it at 110 kilometers an hour. And another thing is, today I've got the camera pointing towards me, so if I do start to get range anxiety, you'll start seeing it in my face. 100 kilometers an hour for the win. We're actually overtaking a few cars and some lorries. I wasn't expecting that. So we've just used 10% of the battery. Let's see how many kilometers we've done. 10% of the battery, 39 kilometers. Actually, that's not bad. 39 kilometers means we'd have a range of 390 kilometers at 100%. Let's see if that's true. And we've got 288 kilometers to complete. So I think this is perfectly doable, provided we keep to these figures. So the current consumption is 14.5 kilowatt hours per 100. If you follow Bjorn Nilon, you know he does his channel in English and Thai. So I thought I might try that. Not in Thai, obviously, because I can't speak Thai. Because I do have quite a few Portuguese followers because I'm in Portugal. But normally my Portuguese followers are very intelligent, they're probably polyglots and can probably speak 3 or 4 languages, including Her Majesty the Queen's language, which is English of course. So I'll try a bit of Portuguese. This will only be short, so please my English viewers, don't stop the video now, because it can get very interesting after I've done a bit of Portuguese. Olá pessoal, estamos a bombar na autostrada, se é verdade, a bombar a 100 km por hora, sim, 100 km por hora, no Volkswagen ID.3 carro elétrico. So we're just coming up to the Alcácer do Sal services. It's currently 5 minutes past 6 o'clock. It's 30.5 degrees Celsius outside. That's why I've got the air conditioning on to 21 degrees Celsius, and that was the same in the other 2 previous tests. The consumption is 14.6 kilowatt hours per 100. We've used 15% of the battery, so the battery is currently at 75%. So that's important to know that we use 15%, because on the way back I need at least 15%, probably a bit more because the wind's going to be coming towards us, to get back to my home. So here they've got to charge it. If I'm not close enough to 15%, then I will charge here on the way back home. So we're coming up to Grandula Services now. As you can see, it's exactly 6:30. We've done 101 kilometers in 1 hour and 11 minutes. So I don't think we're going to do this in 3 hours, going on that maths. And we're doing 14.4 kilowatt hours per 100. Let's check the battery. So in 100 kilometers, we've used 26% of the battery. And my bladder is still holding out, fortunately. So we're just coming up to the turn into the services now. Can you see that there? And the battery is actually at 54%. So we've used 36% of the battery to get here. That means we need at least 36% of the battery to get back. So it's a bit touch and go because I want to arrive with 20%. Now, currently, if we use 36% to get back, then we will arrive with 18%. So that's okay. Let's see if we can do it. The only issue is there's headwind on the way back, and we've been pushed along here. So we're going to have to see how we're going to do this. 138 kilometers to go back. Actually, it's around 148 kilometers to go back. We've got 193 kilometers on the GOM. So we're going to have to watch this carefully. And we're deciding at Alcácer do Sal if we charge or not. We've turned around and we're just about to go back on the motorway, very close to Algéstrel. Now we're down to 52% battery. So this is where it's going to get interesting. So let's get up to 100 kilometers an hour slowly, shall we? So we're heading north and we're just going past the Algéstrel services, and I can tell you at this point in time, ID.3 that did 110 kilometers an hour and the ID.3 that did 120 kilometers an hour were still charging here at this point in time. So we're probably 2 or 3 minutes ahead of them at the moment. But now we're coming up to Grandula Services. It's 23 minutes past 7 o'clock. There is a bit of headwind, and as expected, the consumption's gone up a little bit. So instead of 14.1 per kilowatt hour, we're 14.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. We've done 183 kilometers, and the battery currently is at 41%. I would ideally like the battery to be at 35% when we get to the Alcácer do Sal services. So we will see. Now it's 28 degrees Celsius outside. I've got the air conditioning on still at 21 degrees Celsius. Because of the temperature, I can't turn air conditioning off. So we're going to keep it on. Otherwise I will boil to death. It's 11 minutes till to 8 o'clock. We're just coming up to the Alcácer do Sal services. It's still 27 degrees outside. I've got the air conditioning at 21. Perhaps I'll just put that to 22 so it's not so cold. It's quite cool in here, but I can't turn it off because the temperature's too high. We've done 226 kilometers. We've done 14.4 kilowatt hours per 100, so that's gone up a little bit. So what I wanted to do was arrive here with 35% of the battery, so then I would get home with 20%. Let's see what percentage of battery it is. It's not even over 30%, it's 27%, and I'd need probably at least 15% to get home. So will I stop? I don't think I have to stop. I think we'll get home with around 10%, perhaps a little bit over 10%, but I'm going to have to keep an eye on it because the GOM is saying 108 kilometers and we've got 60 kilometers to go. So we're okay at the moment. We're okay. There are other charging places on the way if things do get really bad. Am I looking slightly worried with range anxiety? I feel it, to be honest. And there is quite a strong wind coming from the north as predicted. But hopefully we still got enough to get home, I think. Actually, the exciting thing now is I think we may be able to do it within 3 hours. It's 8:03 at the moment because I've just had a thought. This 91 kilometers an hour average speed is from when I come from my house, not the actual starting position. So when I'm coming from my house, I'm faffing around, setting up the cameras. It's very slow, there's traffic lights. So the average speed is probably slightly higher than that. We're still managing to keep to 14.4 kilowatt hours, and we've done 248 kilometers, probably about 40 kilometers to go, more or less. 92 kilometers on the GOM. So I think we'll make it. What's the battery at? Battery's at 21%. We've just got the 20% battery warning coming in. There it is, yellow battery. We've done 252 kilometers. So we've got about 35 kilometers to go. The GOM is saying 89 kilometers. We're still 14.4 kilowatt hours per 100. I think we're going to make it, but probably with about 10% of the battery. Yeah, McDonald's in 8 minutes. After spending this long in the car, I could really do with stopping at McDonald's and having a snack and something to eat, but no, we will go home. So far so good, but we've got 10 minutes to get home, but it's saying 15 minutes here. That's actually to my house. Actually, we're stopping before my house, so going to be tight, but I think we'll be just over 3 hours. It is 8:25. We're so close to the starting position, probably about 4 kilometers away. We'll get there by 8:27. I don't know, we've currently done 282 kilometers. Average speed has gone up 92 kilometers per hour. We've done 14.4 kilowatt hours per 100. Yeah, literally 8:26. I think it's just going to be over 3 hours, but not by much. I haven't taken a break once. I've been in this car for over 3 hours. 23 degrees Celsius outside. I turned the air conditioning off not too long ago. There was no need for it. This car's just phenomenal, really. It's been impeccable, this car, and I've done over 14,000 kilometers in it. Great car, the ID.3. It's 8:27, so exactly 3 hours, and we're literally in spitting distance. The battery's at 12%. Okay, it's 8:28. That's 3 hours 1 minute, and we're turning off now. So it's almost possible to do it in 3 hours, almost, if you don't charge. So it's still 8:28. Will it be 3 hours and 1 minute or 3 hours and 2 minutes? Let's see. We have to get to the right position. Out the way. We can go quicker now because the battery's at 12%. Battery's at 12%. 8:29. So 3 hours 2 minutes. So we go around this corner here. Let's say it, yeah. 8:29. 3 hours 2 minutes. 12% battery. So that means we used 78% of the battery to do 287 kilometers. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. What are my thoughts? When we did the 120 kilometer hour test and the 110 kilometer hour test, the battery only had 80%. So there was advantage here because we started with 90%. So 110 kilometer test, it took 3 hours and 4 minutes. So it's a little bit slower, but in fact it would have been a bit quicker because you could probably take off 5-6 minutes charging of that for the 10% that we're missing. 120 kilometers an hour took 2 hours 59 minutes again, and you can probably take 5 or 6 minutes off that because of the battery charging time. And remember, it was 50 kilowatt charge. If it's 100 kilowatt charges, we'd have gone even quicker. So for me, it's great to know that if you need to do such a long distance and go in slower in this car, it's possible to do it. So it's possible now for me to go on my regular trip, that's around 280 kilometers, without charging if I want to. And another great advantage of doing it this way is that you don't have to use a public charger. Public chargers are more expensive, and obviously this is saving us money. But will I do this? Will I drive on my regular 280 kilometer trip 100 kilometers an hour on the motorway instead of 120 kilometers an hour? You know, with it being just a little bit slower? No, absolutely not. It's terrible. Driving at 100 kilometers an hour on the motorway is terrible. It's boring. It's not fun at all. You drive 120 kilometers an hour, it's fun. And the worst thing for me is I've been sat in this car for more than 3 hours now, and I feel exhausted. When I did the 110 kilometer hour test and the 120 kilometer hour test, I arrived here much fresher, but honestly I feel exhausted. The 15-20 minute break, even a 10-minute break at a charger, on a 300 kilometer trip, it just makes you feel so much fresher, so much better for you. So I would definitely recommend driving at motorway speed, not driving slowly, charging when you need to, and taking those breaks, because I feel exhausted. This is not a good thing to do. So if your strategy is to drive slowly, it's a bad strategy. Just drive at normal motorway speed, charge when you need to. That's the best strategy. You'll feel less tired and you will get there quicker, especially if you're using 100 kilowatt chargers. So at this speed of 100 kilometers per hour, you will actually do 368 kilometers. So that's great. 368 kilometers of range if you drive 100 kilometers an hour. Thank you for watching this. Please leave your comments below what you think about driving at 120 kilometers an hour or trying to eke it out, saving some money and efficiency by driving at 100 kilometers an hour and not needing to charge on a trip of around 300 kilometers. What do you do? What do you think? Please click subscribe because I really need to get up to 1 million subscribers as quickly as possible. Thank you for watching this. I hope you've enjoyed it. Unfortunately, my wife has made me a homemade tomato soup at home, and I've got a couple of beers in the fridge. So I'm going to refresh and I'm going to get the car on charge. Thank you again, and bye.